this demo, we're going to talk about how to add appointments. There's a couple of different appointment types. There's one called a predefined appointment type and one called a custom appointment type. A predefined appointment type is kind of like a defined service, like a consultation or maybe laser treatment or something. The appointment types have a fixed duration. They have a set of providers that can provide them, and they're attached to a calendar. And so when you book custom appointment type, it looks for availability on the calendar and only allows you to book that predefined appointment type when there is availability. In predefined appointment types, you can also let the customer book the appointment type, or you can turn it off so only you can book it. But the main difference is that the duration is set by what you set it at, and it looks for availability for that provider on that particular date. The custom appointment is different in that you just set a start and a stop time. You also select a provider. You don't have to select a customer and you give it a subject. It's kind of just like setting an appointment on a calendar, and it just blocks the time on the calendar. It doesn't check for availability, but it does block off that time window. So if you set an appointment from 10 to noon, customers will not be able to book a predefined appointment in that time slot. To book an appointment, this is the main screen for SK Med Spa. Click Manage Appointments, and then it comes up with today's first date. If you want to go to a different date, you can just hit the calendar icon here. Let's say we wanted to go to next week, and we wanted to book an appointment here. You can click Add. Here you can book predefined appointment. In this case, we want to book the appointment for Sandra D. Sandra already has an email in the system, so we don't need to add it. This is going to be a consultation appointment. It's going to be with Dr. Smith, and notice it's given me some availability slots on this date, 10:31, and I'm going to pick the slot at 11 o'clock. You can then put in a reason for visit. You can put in notes. If the customer is using the app, they can see these two things, reason for visits and notes, but you can also add some internal comments here which are not visible by the customer. Obviously, if the customer is not using the app, they won't see any of these things. So we booked this appointment at 11 o'clock. We simply hit book. There it is on the 31st. The second type of appointment is a custom appointment, and it's very similar. We're going to select a custom appointment. We'll do it from 4:30 to 5:45 p.m. And we're going to pick a provider. In this case, we'll pick Dr. Smith again. You can pick a customer here, or you can just not pick a customer. In this case, I'm just going to say break for dinner or something. Again, you can put some notes in here, and you're going to click Save. So if we go back here, notice there's no customer here. It's Dr. Smith, and it's a break for dinner, and it's from 4:30 to 5:45. So now if we went and tried to add another standard appointment or predefined appointment for any of these time slots, they wouldn't show up as available, or if you're allowing your customers to self-book, they wouldn't be available there as well. Other things you can do here is you can swipe left to delete the appointment. You can filter appointments here by either the service type or the provider. And as we mentioned before, you can click on the calendar icon here to find appointments by time frame. If you click on this appointment for Sandra D, it's in the future, so obviously she hasn't arrived. You can see the provider. You could also see the notes here if we had added any notes. So you can see the provider. And notice from the screen, you could also contact her, send her a message. You can move to the notes screen, attach a file, and even view her forms if she's filled out forms. So that's the basic appointment filled out flow. The one other thing I'll show you is kind of where do you set up appointment types. So notice when I did add a predefined appointment, and let's say for Danny types, so notice when there were these appointment types: consultation, treatment, and follow-up. I'm not going to add the appointment this time, but if you go back to this main screen and click Manage Business and you click Appointment Settings, it shows you there are 3 appointment types: consultation, treatment, and follow-up. If you click on treatment, you can set the icon here. You can give it a name, a description. You give it a duration, and then you can also click, which providers can provide that appointment, and then you can give the appointment a cost. You can also set up a booking confirmation email. So that's basically it and the workflow for appointments. The next little video we're going to do is how to add customer notes, the workflow for when you talk to the customer.